I'm wearing pants for you, Mike.
Nice. You look good in pants.
Which is weird. I've never said that to you before. Usually it's, I'm not wearing pants for you, Mike. All right, go. Are we doing it?
Wow. All right, guys. Welcome back. Episode number 42. And how you doing, Mark?
I'm outstanding. And you, sir?
Good. Very good.
Welcome back to your home.
Yeah. So this is kind of our comeback episode. We did the recap, UFC Philadelphia.
Most of them.
Most of them. We had a technical difficulty, and we couldn't do the Emmett. We did it, but the Emmett and Johnson fight didn't make air, or didn't make our video in our iTunes. Or everything else we put on.
Yeah, either of them. We had our Instagram, though.
Yeah. And so what we'll do is, I guess before we start the whole, comeback episode, we'll go ahead and break down that fight. And I will say this, though, about the recap episode. So not only did we have a technical difficulty with the audio, we had no air condition.
No.
That decided to break in the studio. So we were hot as shit.
We were on a 106-day layoff.
Yeah, we hadn't recorded in 3 months. And what else? You were a little sick.
I was.
I was a little tired.
I believe I ate some bad Thai food.
So I think we did a fair job considering all this. If you look back at the
that's fair to say.
At the last episode, you can kind of judge for yourself how sweaty we were, and if you can tell that we had all these problems. But I think we did okay.
We persevered.
We did. We had to get that episode out like we promised, so we did it. But let's go back real quick and talk about Emmett versus Johnson at UFC Philadelphia.
The fight of the night.
The biggest knockout of the card we
probably
couldn't give you guys. But you want to talk about that one?
I mean, obviously, I'm sure they've seen it at this point.
Yeah, we're just going to do it anyway. We owe it to them.
But, yeah, that was quite the knockout. I've never seen that much spit fly out of somebody's mouth.
Yeah.
On a R-rated program.
Oof.
But it's a porno joke, Mike.
Yeah, I get it.
But
I've seen one or two.
Huh?
I've seen one or two in my time. Yeah, Emmett looked good. What I like about this fight was Emmett, he had good composure. And, Michael Johnson was getting a little cocky and a little arrogant throughout the fight. He was doing good. I mean, Michael Johnson's a good athlete, and, he was having his way a little bit there. But Emmett stayed to task and strategy, and he never let that get to him. And that's what I don't like to see when people are, kind of showboating and the audience is kind of booing still, and you're not really, demolishing your opponent. Yeah. It's kind of a little bit premature.
But you see what happens.
And exactly why. Because if you get caught, there couldn't be a better knockout than that. He was out on the feet and literally like a tree just fell flat on his face or side. I don't know exactly.
And he didn't follow up, so I appreciate that.
That was good. So big win for Emmett. And
which, kind of leads me to a question, if you will, Michael.
Oh, please. That's what we're here for.
So there was a fight, I believe it was Gray Maynard versus Clay Guida. And, I get it. You start talking shit to your opponent and all that stuff, which you've done maybe once or twice.
Yeah.
But would you ever stand there and just let somebody hit you? Because it looks like it doesn't. Again, I've never been in a fight. People are scared to fight me. But I've never, it could be the smallest hit just in the perfect spot.
Yeah.
And they're done.
You've seen the Instagram videos where guys do that and then they get knocked out.
Yeah. But
I know what you're talking about because the video at AKA Thailand.
The Fightland video.
Yeah. At our showroom, we have 4 TVs in the showroom that show periodic videos of AKA Thailand, and one of them happens to be one that Vice Fightland did on AKA history, just AKA in general, and it shows Gray Maynard training at AKA and his fight with Clay Guida. I just saw that today as well when I walked by.
Yeah, so that's my first. Has it been on for months?
Honestly, I can't even remember, to be honest with you, who won that fight. I hope he did, and I assume because they showed it, he did. But yeah, I wouldn't do that, man. That's crazy.
Because he took 2.
He put his hands down and not only showboated, he allowed him to actually punch him in the face a couple times and took it.
Because it doesn't take much, So I just.
It really doesn't. Look at the fight with so many lately.
Well, okay, as far back as if you go, Forrest Griffin when he was backing up, and so was.
Right. And just popped it out there.
Silva.
Anderson Silva, yeah.
Yeah, and it's easy. The way
it just gets on the button.
I love Forrest Griffin. I'm not talking shit, but didn't look that hard,
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just
even there was talk about Pettis and Wonder Boy. It didn't look like a crazy hard hit.
Yeah,
And even Wonder Boy was like, I didn't, he didn't remember obviously, but it didn't look like that devastating, crazy blow. But it was just right on the money.
He took that loss well.
And we've seen Wonder Boy take some hits, so it's not like he has a weak chin, but it was.
I think it's the first time he's ever been knocked out. Like
Is it?
ever, not even like sparring, everything.
Really?
I think because he did a little Instagram story, whatever, off his.
It's crazy because I thought he
the
did like
bed.
a lot of like karate and kickboxing fights.
Yeah, since he was 3. I think both his parents are champions. Isn't that right?
I don't know.
If I remember correctly. I know that's Darren Cruikshank.
When you research something, I'm not going to know and follow along with you.
I didn't Google.
I don't know about his parents.
Fucking ThompsonsParents.com.
Oh,
I
maybe.
didn't look.
Better reserve that domain.
Is that one?
I don't know. So anyway, getting back to Emmett, good win for him. I mean, it was a good win. Not only it was a big knockout for him, it was also a show of why you don't get cocky and arrogant during a fight. I don't know what's going to happen to Johnson next. He kind of like wins some, loses some, and he's kind of in that kind
It
of.
was an entertaining fight. He'll get another fight.
Yeah, of
And,
course
like,
he'll get one.
He won't be straight to one FC or one championship.
You're saying that like it's bad.
No, it's not. I mean, just it's a great segue into future and.
I got a
talks that
question.
we have.
Speaking of ONE FC, I
Uh-oh.
got a question for you.
Oh
I'm
God.
thinking about some questions.
Did you?
Would you rather, if you had to fight in the UFC, would you rather fight 2 Demetrius Johnsons or 1 Brock Lesnar? And how would that go? What would your strategy be?
2 Demetrius Johnsons.
Over 1 Brock Lesnar?
Yeah.
Okay. And then how would that go?
I mean, I don't want to leave it in the hands of the judges,
I don't think it will be, but
but no, he'd kick the living fuck out of me. Let's be honest. I mean, he would.
they.
You
wouldn't get one of them.
Demetrii.
I think.
Is that the plural form of Demetrius's?
Yeah, if you had to fight Demetrii.
Demetrii would, they'd kick the fuck out of me. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, the guy's a phenomenal fighter. I know of.
You'd have to be laying down to get kicked too. That's the crazy thing. 'Cause you're like 6'5".
So's he, right? That is the smallest man I've ever seen. But I mean, again, I've had my, difference of opinion. I always said he's a great fighter, but as far, I got some spit or something.
No,
Oh,
I had an itch.
I'm new to this
Just having an
beard
itch
thing.
to myself over here, and you're losing concentration.
All right, my bad.
Keep going. With
My Demetrius
Yeah.
bashing. No, it's not a bashing. It's obviously he's a phenomenal fighter. I just you can't be ranked number 1 pound for pound if you've only got 104 of those pounds. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, to me, I personally, as a fan, whatever. But again, phenomenal fighter, best at what he does at his size. I get it.
You're just never gonna like that guy, are you?
I mean, I don't hate him. I'd let
He's
him
a
buy
nice
me
guy.
beers and
Good fighter,
cars
nice
and
guy.
rent and jewelry. But
He just struggles to get that next level of.
he did
attention.
win.
He won in ONE FC.
At 2 a.m. on a non-televised card. Not talking shit about ONE FC. I shouldn't do that. But
yeah, you are.
it was, I mean,
Yeah,
he
he
won. Him and Eddie Alvarez fought.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Eddie got beat.
Yeah, he got knocked out in the first round.
Was that the first round? Crazy.
Yeah, it was, I can't remember the time, but I know it's, because I don't have it written up here. Timothy Nestayukin. Naga.
Speaking of,
Not going to work here
oh
anymore.
yeah, that's ONE FC. But in Ryzen, we have Manel Cape.
Yes.
He's coming up. He's gonna be a star. That kid.
Oh, yeah.
He's coming out of AKA Thailand, and he's training. He was training with me just while I go in the weight room. At the
Dude's a
end,
beast.
at the end of the day, and yeah, he's a beast, man.
He's fighting in 20...
3 weeks.
Huh.
2 hard weeks and then a week of weight cut. So cool. So we covered that fight.
Japan?
Finally, UFC Philly. I'm not sure.
Japan this time? Are you going?
No.
You're not going?
Marcio's going. Yeah.
Ah.
Marcio always goes with him.
Yeah, well, they
train
speak
together all the
same
time.
language.
And they do that, yeah. But so we finally covered UFC Philly, so we're good now. We gave him back.
Did we miss a fight like UFC 206? We've covered those too.
Yeah.
I feel like
so if you
can't believe we
haven't
forgot
seen
one.
the
Or
last podcast, you
didn't
should
post
check it
it.
out even for a few minutes just to see how we held up considering the elements of the studio.
Yeah.
But yeah, so back to where we were. So it's been a while, 3 months.
That's a weird question about the two DeMarc guys or whatever. Demarius.
Dimitri.
Yeah. I
This is-
forgot his name. There's so many Johnsons. Just a weird question, but
That's what I was thinking about.
I appreciate
I think
that.
of weird questions for you sometimes.
You got another one for me?
No, not right now. I'll tell you when.
You got them timed out?
Yeah, I do.
Ooh, so professional at this.
You're quite the trivia book.
I don't know why you make fun of me doing the trivia,
So
man.
what's happened since we last aired an episode? So much. So like we said last time, Michelle Watterson was our last guest previous to the last episode.
Yeah.
Signed the wall there. And then she was talking about trying to get a fight and then getting back in there, getting a win. And she did that. And we talked about that
She
last
looked good.
podcast.
Yeah.
So that's good for her. We'll follow up and see what happens in the next. She's reached 1 million followers also. Since
nice.
the last podcast. So good for her. Yeah. She deserves it. And yeah, man. So a lot's happened. We've been working a lot at AKA Thailand. You
Yes. You have too, buddy.
Yeah, I had a little bit.
You went in this week.
I did.
All day?
Yeah.
Today?
A couple days.
You left after me today.
12-hour days, dude.
Okay. All right.
Getting tired of that shit. You know,
Are you?
You know I'm up all night, though.
No, I know.
I'm up all night, so I'm in the gym, and then I'm working in the morning, working at night.
Got some good stuff coming up. You deserve it, you know? I'm proud of you.
Yeah, so you probably have a question for me, I'm sure, because I could just tell. What is it?
What do you think it's about?
Because you kept asking if I had another question.
No, I was just curious. I just didn't know if...
okay, I don't want to get in trivia time in here.
Because I love trivia, man.
Because if you missed the last episode, guys, Mark, him and his mates go down to the British pub and do trivia
Thursday, 8 o'clock, Green Man. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
You're going to go this time. Well, I believe it was you today that said you can guarantee that you're going to beat me.
At trivia, for sure.
Well, yeah. You
beat
can
you
beat me
everything.
at two things. Lifting
I'm
weights.
not as good at you
and fighting.
at
That's
everything, but I beat you there. For some reason, I beat you at everything. I don't know why. It's just like God wants me to win against you.
Just because you win once every, like, Monopoly is not a real thing.
It's not a monopoly.
Oh, no.
I have the monopoly of wins over you.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you? Who made the board game?
Milton Bradley?
No?
I
think it's Parker Brothers.
Was it?
I don't know, actually. Oh, our statistician's here.
All right, Greg's going to work on that. I think Milton Bradley did it.
Okay, well, I think you're wrong.
It's not Parker Brothers.
I'm pretty sure it's Parker Brothers.
I'm pretty sure it's
You want to put some
Bradley.
Fake money on it?
No. While he's doing that, he's already got it. You got it?
Yeah, he's pretty quick.
Parker Brothers.
Oh.
Well, I mean, I'm going against a pub trivia night champion over here. Would you win 500 baht last week?
Yes, that's 15 US divided by 6 people. We're looking at
yeah, nice.
$2.81 each.
Good job, buddy.
Yeah, bottled waters for everyone.
So let's get back into MMA realm. Some of the news has come up. So I guess the biggest news, because of Conor, that he announced his retirement. Obviously, I think everybody knows that's kind of a power struggle between him and Dana and the UFC. But let me ask you this: do you think he could or would retire at this stage, or do you think there's no way he's for sure coming back no matter what?
I don't, because I get it. He's got his. I think his main focus in life right now is that either to get shares of the UFC, which is I don't think going to happen, or promote his brand.
The reason it wouldn't happen is if they give him shares, they got to justify not giving anyone else shares. And obviously, Conor McGregor's done a lot to build the UFC what it is today. But then you got, what about Chuck Liddell? What about Randy Couture? What about the guys that, like, there wouldn't be a Conor McGregor if it wasn't for those guys. So then it becomes this whole big deal. They just open the floodgates to everybody.
I don't. And
then it'd just be a constant battle that Dana
I don't
would
think
have with everyone.
UFC would have just gone away if it wasn't for Conor McGregor. I mean, it was still building.
No, but I mean, it wouldn't have gone as big. I mean, he did definitely raise the bar.
Don't get me wrong, he's a huge star.
Yeah, to raise the bar.
But he didn't make the UFC huge. UFC made him huge. And I get the way he acts and all that stuff, but you know, it's just like Tom Brady, phenomenal NFL player. But if he retired tomorrow, the NFL's still going to have the exact same numbers they did last year. I mean, I get it. He sells more pay-per-views. It's not a weekly basis thing as much. Well, kind of almost, but the pay-per-view thing's different. I think he owes the UFC way more than UFC owes him.
Okay, so I see what you're saying from like a standpoint of he was a small fighter, poor, didn't have much going on. Now he's a superstar. He couldn't have done that without the UFC. But that being said, who needs who more? That's the question. And I honestly, in my opinion, think the UFC needs Conor more than Conor needs the UFC because Conor could walk away and be fine. The UFC needs big fights right now. And aside from John Jones and this fight with Lesnar and Cormier, those two literally, who's this big master fight other than that?
But then you don't have to go Conor McGregor versus Brock Lesnar, let's just say.
We got Khabib. Obviously, Khabib's a big draw, but he's not that star power of
it's still going to, like, as long as they don't, like, sometimes, you know, we'll catch a card that's in, that one in Russia. Besides Mark Hunt, I really knew maybe 2 more people out of all 14. So as long as they don't have cards like that, I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, but you got to have, in order to get 3 and 4 million or 2 million buys, you got to have a big card. I mean, you got to have a big main event.
Okay, it's just like baseball. The biggest star was Barry Bonds. Huge, obviously. As soon as he left, it was Alex Rodriguez. If Conor goes tomorrow and stays gone, they'll have somebody else. You know, it's just they're always. It's just like, okay, the guy that beat Conor McGregor. Like, remember Conor was like 15-1 there for a while or whatever. He lost one time. Can you name that guy who beat him? No, because nobody knew who Conor was until the UFC. So that just goes to show right there, the UFC made Conor. Now I get it, his antics and all his dumb
the
shit.
UFC makes every fighter, but then the fighters can become bigger than what they made.
But in reality, that dude who beat Conor still beat him, and the guy probably works at Starbucks. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, Dennis Hallman, you know who that is?
With those weird shorts that he wore that day.
He beat Matt Hughes twice. The greatest.
Really?
You know, technically one of the greatest welterweights of all time. So there you go. That's how the MMA sport works. I mean, it's like you can't look at it by who beats who. You know.
I mean, I agree.
Sure, I wonder what's happened to those guys that beat Conor before he got in UFC. What they're doing now, I guarantee it's not that that much. And they're probably like,
Matt Serra, God bless him, but I mean, him and GSP fight 200 times. Who wins? You know, I mean,
you gotta be careful, dude. Sarah has a podcast.
I'm not saying he's
blast us out, dude.
He'll probably say the same thing,
dude. He'll come in here and just kill us all.
You think it would be over?
We don't want a podcast
50-50.
war.
No way.
I was there that night though when he beat GSP. I fought.
Yeah, I know. I was
don't
there.
Bring up bad memories, but I remember that.
Weren't you the first one to have a banner too? Was that the
fight?
show?
Like it's brought up every time, but that was that fight.
You'll get used to this every single podcast.
I love Matt Serra. I love him to death personally.
Yeah, I don't hate the guy, but
I was. Oh no, GSP. I guess I'm already giving credit to the wrong person. I love GSP as a fighter and as a person. I think he's a great guy, but I was kind of relieved a little bit from a fighter standpoint. I'll be honest, right? From a fighter standpoint, that night that Sarah beat GSP and took kind of like all that commotion off of me because I was fighting for the first time in front of my Houston crowd, and I was up there and high on the card, and I was fighting to get a shot against Anderson Silva, and obviously I lost that fight against Yushin Okami, and I was like, the world was ended for me. Like the world ended for me from the time I left the stadium. I left early, until I got back to the hotel. I was just like,
why'd you leave the hotel early?
The hotel early.
You got to take me home. Remember?
I don't remember.
I may or may not.
But I was so
took
down
advantage
in the dumps
of
and depressed.
$12 Jaeger night.
I'm thinking like everyone's gonna be so disappointed and let down to me, and then all of a sudden, just this mad rush of people were just going crazy, and they were like, "Oh my God, GSP just got knocked out by Matt Serra," and he was like the biggest underdog ever.
Yeah. Hey.
So I'm not saying I wish whoever won and lost or whatever, but I'm just saying that whole incident took a lot of like that pressure off of me, and I was like, "Oh, I can sleep a little bit maybe."
What if you would have beat? I know we talked about it before. Stephan Bonner.
Yeah.
Where would the UFC be right now? You know, I mean,
and that was the tightest guillotine choke I ever had on somebody. They didn't tap. He was turning blue and gurgling.
So
I thought it was.
It
over.
wasn't a Swickatine?
No,
just
he would have tapped if it was.
Oh, okay. Shit, I don't know. I never.
You
Poor
don't get
guy.
out of this.
Poor guy.
Yeah, I didn't learn the Swickatine at that point. That was a Kid Lion-atine. It wasn't the same.
Kid Lion. What's that?
Yeah.
Taking pictures of you in 24-hour
fitness.
If you
know that, put that in the comments. There'll be somebody.
Yeah, somebody's gonna know Kid Lion.
But anyway, where were we at before that? Jeez, we got completely
Kid Lion's great.
Hold up. Yeah, no, let's go to other headline news.
Well, I got to we were talking about shares with Conor McGregor and all that stuff. Did you see what he tweeted about Mark Wahlberg? He goes, "I want to fight that actress, Mark Wahlberg. I want that to be my next fight and fight for his shares of the company."
I think he has a small amount though. It's not like worth fighting for.
Got two shares. I mean, whatever.
I don't know.
I mean, it's
they bought in though. That whole agency,
and they gave it out to all their high whatever.
Well, they gave the offer out there to all the people they represent to buy, and Mark stepped in. I think Conan O'Brien stepped in. There was quite a few people that actually bought in, but it was probably like $1 million, $2 million for just a small amount. It's a $4.2 billion company. They kind of got much.
I mean, what the hell has Conor McGregor? I mean, Mark Wahlberg ever done to Conor McGregor? Like, why would you call him an actress?
But the point is, he's trying to say, this guy who's done nothing for UFC owns shares. Why don't I? I mean, he has a good point.
Then why don't you just say, hey, let me buy your shares from you?
True.
I know it doesn't work exactly 100% like that, but I'm sure
well, here's the
they
thing.
could work out some kind of arrangement.
In this situation, if he buys shares, I think he doesn't want to buy shares. That's the reason.
Well, of course he wants.
Because if he wants to buy shares,
he's a millennial. He wants it handed to him.
Right. Why would IMG not give it to him like they did all these celebrities for the same amount of money? Because Conor McGregor, in fact, Conor McGregor is a way bigger star when it comes to MMA and UFC than these guys. So,
well, you're the businessman. Can you change the price of shares if you're going to divide it up, people?
No. I mean, it just depends. You have different types of shares. So.
I mean, because like let's say you sold Greg 10 shares for $10,000 each, and I buy them for $5 each just because we're buddies. Like that's not.
Wait, what now?
Like let's say he wanted to buy 10 shares,
right?
And you charged him $100,000 a share, whatever. I wanted to buy 10 shares, but you charged me $5 because we're buddies.
No, you can't.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't, Again, that's why you own the company and I answer the phones. So
You do way more than that.
I answer the phones.
You do that too, sometimes.
The American line.
So yeah, I mean, like I see his point. I mean, he's trying to say these actors haven't done anything for the UFC. They got shares. I think he just wants to say he owns the UFC. He's an owner. I think that's what he wants to say.
But he's no.
But here's the thing. Now here's
He's got way more staying power than Conor McGregor's going to have. Conor McGregor's gigantic right now. It's like Rich Franklin when you were coming up too and all that shit.
Yeah, he won like Conor.
God
but he was
bless
big.
him. But yeah, but he's nowhere
I have
near
no
the
idea
star
what he's
days.
doing right now.
When it won championship.
Well, I mean, I know that, but I
Yeah.
haven't heard anything like any news or anything. I mean, he hasn't done
Exactly. I
anything
mean,
as far as like,
once you get out of the limelight like that, actors tend to stay longer.
yeah. Well,
you know.
Mark Wahlberg ain't going anywhere for sure.
Wow.
But they're not promoting the UFC, which is maybe they are a little bit going to the events, but they're not really overboard promoting. Like I follow Mark, I follow a lot of these other guys that bought into the UFC, and they're not like making 50 Cent has kind of signed on with Bellator. So he's putting like the Bellator hashtag every single post and talking about Bellator all the time. None of these guys are doing that, so they're not really building the company so much.
But see, they don't need to, man.
But here's my thing where I can defend the UFC. So, if Conor McGregor wants to be an owner, he has plenty of money to buy. And they'll definitely sell him shares if they sell him to these celebrities. So I think he just doesn't want to pay. He feels like he already earned it. But then again, he earned his money. He got that, right?
Yeah.
He made more money than any fighter in the history of the sport.
How many UFC fights does he have? 7?
I have
6?
no idea.
What, did he have 15 before then? You got to remember that he wasn't shit before the UFC.
Yeah.
Maybe he was huge in Dublin.
We got paid. It's not like he didn't get paid. So he's asking now for a bonus.
That's
it's like me calling Dana and saying I want a bonus of 50 grand
That's
or
like
something
me asking
small.
for commission.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
Obviously, we know that's not right.
Yeah, we know. We finished that argument. But the point is, like, he can buy them, and I think that would be the proper thing to do. Proper. See that?
Oh, if he bought 12 shares, it'd be proper 12.
It'd be the proper thing to do because then he could say he bought shares of the UFC. I'd be more proud of buying into a company like that than just giving shares. And it wouldn't be fair because he's been paid. He's been
compensated.
He's been
best way
compensated
for what he's
everything
done.
he's done.
Yeah.
And his compensation's been more than anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, he's made the most
And
money.
if there was no UFC, he would never have fought Mayweather for that 118 million or whatever.
I mean, you can go back and forth for days on UFC.
It's just,
Conor,
you
UFC. I mean, there's so many different sides. At the end of the day, UFC is a business. They can do whatever they want. They could survive without
You're just
Conor.
never bigger than the organization.
Conor can survive without them.
You work for.
It's just wait, what?
I don't think you can ever be bigger than the organization you work for in all of sports.
You can grow out of it.
Of sports.
I mean, look at The Rock.
Well, yeah. I mean,
You can grow out, but
yeah,
I mean,
but he's not strictly just doing that. It's not like McGregor's, an Oscar-winning. He's not even a comedian. But
we made the most of his money from boxing. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, no, but it wouldn't.
So that
have
wasn't even
happened if it
MMA,
wasn't for,
but wouldn't have happened.
and
right?
it's just like obviously The Rock wouldn't have been in all these movies if it
And
wasn't for that WWFE.
Whatever. So getting back to this a little bit about the war between Conor and Dana. This is another thing I don't like is he's not putting value on the fact Dana had his back and promoted him himself so hard to get that boxing fight and made him the most money he's ever made in his life and made him the most money any MMA fighter's ever even seen or dreamed about. Because if you saw that whole presser and world tour or whatever it was, Dana White was with him the whole time. I mean, Dana White was a big factor in getting that fight. So to be mad at Dana right now, it's kind of like biting the hand that feeds you,
man.
right? I mean, like I would feel a little bit
And
bad.
hey, it wasn't like this was like 30 years ago.
And you're talking about a guy who
20
has
months ago.
multiple charges. I mean, this guy, it's like he's putting a lot of emphasis on things where
Stop breaking the law, asshole.
I mean, in all seriousness, so he doesn't think these things are going to help or hurt his brand, but they will. You know what I mean?
They will eventually.
There's an alleged rape in Ireland. I don't know if he did it or not, but he was suspected of it. I don't know where they're at right now, but that's serious. I mean, if something happened that he got
I really
convicted
hope
of
he
that,
didn't, because
but if he got convicted of that, do you think Proper 12 and all these things he's promoting, his clothing line, that's not going to be affected? For sure. That's why you're saying this thing could crumble down fast.
Yeah.
Like Mark Wahlberg, he's not going to lose everything he's built fast. But sports guys like this, they start committing crimes and doing crazy shit. Fuck, it goes down fast.
Get out of the limelight, man.
And I'm not saying, like I said, I don't know what the situation is with Conor and this whole alleged rape in Ireland, but I'm curious to see where they're at right now. But we do know that he got in trouble for the cell phone, smashing it and stealing it.
Yeah,
we
why did he take it with him?
We know he threw a dolly through a bus with all the fighters on it and hurt innocent people. I mean, he isn't like, so far his track record's not good, and his future is, unless he makes a big change, it's not headed in the right direction as far as that goes. And that's where I put all my emphasis if I was coming up with that. And he just founded a wine company. Did you know that?
Yeah, the Rosé.
Champ Rosé.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's full throttle on business, but he's got to quit making these mistakes, I think, in my opinion, because it's going to affect his brand. And if it affects your brand and you got so much money in Conor McGregor Fast program or whatever, you got so much money in this little multimedia production thing.
Oh, I
don't even know. It's an Instagram page. And then you have so
I'll
much
tell you
money
right
in
now
Proper
that
12. You have so much money in August McGregor and all this stuff. All that stuff, if you do something wrong, will all
go away.
crumble. Yeah, it crumbles at the same time. It's not like,
I mean,
yeah. So it's like he's got to be careful.
look at the, like Kevin Spacey and shit. You know, I mean,
Well, that was a big one.
I mean, that's kind of a. I mean, it's a little different, but and I'm not sitting here trying to dog Connor, of course, but
Yeah.
that
No,
wine,
he's
that wine's not going to
We're
last unless he makes the wine $4 a bottle. It's not going to sell.
Yeah.
I mean, you have wine
I don't
aficionados
know.
that.
I think he's running a little
pretentious
thin right now, doing a lot of things.
and doing too much.
I think maybe.
Like
I mean,
when-
who am I to say? But
Well,
I think he might be.
We did pretty good when we were day trading.
Yeah.
Which brings me to a question I have for you. If you could go back and do it all over again, would you rather be an actor, my mistake, or a UFC fighter?
From the start?
From the start.
Huh.
I'm thinking about this though, because I mean, I know you're doing well. We've you did well in the UFC, of course, but I mean, actors. I mean, don't they get paid pretty much their whole life after even
No.
they show their movies again and all that
I
crap? I
think
mean, I know
now-
it's a little bit, but
I don't think I could have used acting to transition into business like I have, especially with what I'm doing now. So I think at the time, I always wanted to be an actor growing up for sure. Like I got into
remember.
fighting because, I wanted to be in the military, and then after I got out of the military, I wanted to be Chuck Norris. I wanted to be, so I wanted to have the fight training so I could actually kick ass and fill that, that role.
Daniel LaRusso.
Lorenzo
Or
Lamas.
Daniel LaRusso. Lorenzo Lamas.
No, you're talking about Ralph Macchio.
Yeah, Karate Kid. You went to the Highlander, whatever, the Renegade. Fucking Lorenzo Lamas.
Any of them. I'd take any of them.
God, how
Steven
old are
Seagal,
you?
Van Damme. I'd have
Fucking
taken any of
Lorenzo
them.
Lamas.
No,
Wow.
Karate Kid, Ralph Macchio is what got me into MMA. Or
You with
MMA,
Charles
into
Bronson.
martial arts. But the point is,
Billy
yeah,
Jack. Does anybody know Billy Jack?
at the time, I would have chose to go, and I would have thought acting would be the more successful route. If someone came to me as a kid and was like, "Don't do martial arts, I'll get you straight into Hollywood and do movies," I'd have chose that for sure. But now, considering I've built my name in UFC and then transitioned into business, I think I can make far more money in business than in acting. So I feel like I could have capped, unless I became some like Mark Wahlberg or something. Whereas now I feel like there's no cap above me.
Where would I be if you became an actor?
Yeah,
Ugh.
just that actor friend guy.
I'd be probably successful businessman in America.
maybe.
Yeah.
So then I could be an actor
Instead
and
of
come see
bringing you
you.
coffee.
We could,
I brought you a coffee tonight.
yeah,
I
we
really
could
did.
go on each other's yachts and talk about about
Going on
business.
each other's yachts.
I'll talk
Yeah.
about acting.
I can't even afford to play Yahtzee, let alone going on. Plus, I don't do yachts. I
Yeah.
think that's the worst money you can spend personally.
Yeah,
Why?
You can
Why go
charter
on a yacht?
yachts though.
Why
Like
go
Dana
on-
did when Dana came here. He chartered a yacht.
Well,
you just
don't
pay
get me
for it and get it for a week.
I'd
get it
hang
for
out with
2
him on
weeks.
his yacht. But why do these people get boats so big that you don't even know you're on a boat? So what's
That's
the fucking
Dana's
point?
boat. Like Dana's boat.
What's the
one
fucking
he
point?
chartered was ridiculous.
Like, get a submarine. Let's go under that motherfucker. Something different.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. But these yachts are amazing, man. And like you're right though, it's like it's a lot of wasted space and they're trying to outdo each other now. So there's
Oh,
like
of course.
I saw whoever had the biggest yacht in the world and now someone else is like they have a whole secret factory where it's like hidden, and you can't see the yacht and they're trying to build even the biggest one. But it's like a city, bro.
It's dumb.
And it costs so much money, man.
Just to maintain, not even to
I talked to
enjoy.
these guys that had Dana's yacht, and it's like just to maintain that thing by a month and a year, it's like ridiculous. Gas and
Well, you got a
salaries.
staff of 80 on there.
It's
and
crazy. They had a gunner on Dana's. They had a gunner. Yeah,
I got to pay the lady $200 to clean my room,
yeah, that's a lot. $6.
and that's one room.
Yeah.
$6. I couldn't imagine paying 80 of them.
I imagine paying 50. That's not fun every month.
Ugh. What?
Yeah.
You talking about your boy?
Yeah,
Oh, here.
You're one of 50.
I thought you
You're
meant.
one of the biggest of 50.
Huh.
I have to I'm shaking when I write your check. Not that I write a check.
Again, I'm the McGregor, and you're the UFC.
Yeah,
I feel like I deserve way more.
always, dude.
I'm gonna retire.
Everyone's entitled.
Do you guys have a retirement plan at AKA?
No.
Can I get like 60% of my salary if I?
No. Doesn't work.
I can't even get 100%.
That's why I
of my
built
salary.
a company in Thailand. It's catered to me and our business and our team and
It is a good
making
time working.
success.
Tell me we don't have fun there.
It's
man.
good, man. What better job could we have,
Dan Bilzerian, I think we talked
Okay,
about
I
it a little
get
bit
it.
ago.
But I'm just saying, for us. It's like building business. We're building new exciting things. We got a lot of things coming up we can't talk about right now.
The only thing I think that
even just AKA Thailand's amazing.
If we could get paid the same amount we're getting paid now just to burn things, we could do it.
Yeah.
Tell me you don't like burning shit.
For a week. I
or
do it for a
breaking
week.
glass.
Dude, I'm more motivated than I've ever been in my life for business. I am.
Oh, look at me.
You're wearing button-up shirts now.
Well, that doesn't define
Nobody
my
in
success.
high school would have believed that.
Oh, wow. All right.
I'm just saying.
Okay. Weird transition, but
I'm just saying. Look at you. You're cleaning up nice.
well,
Except your face. Tell me the story about that, dude.
in all honesty,
100% honesty, because I've never seen you look that bad.
I left my
Not
raise.
that bad, but that rough. Whatever you want to call it.
Oddly enough, you
what do
gave
you call
me
it when half your beard's there and not the other half, and the other half's on top? What is that? Is that bad or just rough?
That's just white trash.
Okay.
I
There
get it. I
you go.
look
To
like a
explain.
Joe Dirt stunt man. I get it, but you gave me roses. What? Where the hell did that come from?
What the hell are you talking about?
I have no idea. I was still thinking about that rosé that Conor McGregor's making.
Champ Rosé?
Yeah.
Should be paid by Conor McGregor.
Yeah. Sponsored by.
We've pretty much just been promoting his shit.
No, it was Gillette. The razors you gave me.
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe I said roses. That sounds really gay. Can we edit that out?
No.
All right.
No, we're going to keep it in.
It's weird how we take out the shit. You don't. Anyway.
I never take anything out.
Oh.
Except fights, full fights when
Yeah.
the audio's not there.
No. Anyway, so I went to America and I came back and didn't have my razor. And I cannot use those disposable bullshit ones for 17 cents at the store. So I finally got one that, oh man, I can't believe I'm going to say this, that fits my girlfriend's leg razor.
Use her leg razor body.
But a different
razor.
Different razor.
Aw.
And, it's pink with real wide. I don't know.
Oh, the big
You
ones.
know, like use it like
It's
two-handed.
like rubber and stuff.
And I was like, man, this is just, I feel like such a douche doing it.
Yeah, you should.
I feel like I should bleed once a month. I feel
It's
like
opposite of douche.
I feel like such a pussy.
Oh, there you
We're
go.
not-
That's much better.
What?
Yeah.
Beat you.
Yeah.
Oh, anywho. Yeah.
So the point is, what happened? You don't
so-
have the leg razor
So I
now?
started, obviously do underneath here because that's the worst in the world. And then I was like, man, fuck this. It just wasn't
You're so
cutting.
fucking lazy right now. You're
So lazy.
dividing your fucking shaving into like multiple days.
Yeah.
So you just did this today, and now you can do this tomorrow, like half, like fucking.
I just did here and here.
Unbelievable.
No, it doesn't grow here, believe it or not.
So you have a
But-
full beard. You just are being lazy and doing pieces at a time.
No, it's not a full beard.
I just go with what I
But
said.
you got to
Sounds-
give it love, man. Not one gray hair on this body.
Me neither.
Not after the ones I plucked downstairs.
You
There's 50 shades of gray down there. No, it was one hair, and anyway.
Isn't it sad when your body says, we don't need to worry about making your pubic hairs brown anymore. Let's just fucking let them go gray. Like, that's bad when your body just completely gives up on your...
out of the 1,000,000.6 hairs that I have, it was one hair, which I can, one guy got old, Other than that,
One guy. One hair got old on
one
your
that was
body.
it. But look, man, still none.
Go ahead and just tilt your head down a little bit. Let's see the top. I know there's not... I know there's not gray hair, but... I won't get into it. I'll embarrass you. Where were we?
Hey, I'm fucking almost 40, man. I'm
You
proud.
look good for 40,
Wow.
I think.
Wow.
Just give you a compliment.
All right.
Like
Moving
you.
on. Back to MMA questions. Huh?
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
So,
men on men action.
other news. So we talked about Conor for a while. Again, we didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't beat him up. We're happy for him. I hope he does good. I want to see him back as a fan. So it's not like I'm bashing him, saying. I just think the UFC I'm got his back. I
They
guess.
need
I think
each
the
other.
UFC
I
needs
mean,
him. So.
But it's
They
like
got to put a fight on. I think it should be Conor and Khabib. Conor wants Nate. I think that'd be a big fight. I think Khabib and Conor would be a bigger fight. That's just my opinion.
I think Khabib Lesnar.
He'd probably fight him.
Well, Lesnar's starting to lose a little weight. I don't know if you
Is he?
noticed.
No, I haven't.
Well,
I don't
there's-
watch Lesnar.com. very
Well,
much.
it's not like he's on weightcut.net. I'm just saying he apparently has
I'm just
changed
too
his
busy.
regimen.
Huh?
.net.
What'd you say?
It looks like he may have changed his vitamin intake,
Well,
if you will.
If he's preparing for a
Lesnar?
UFC fight,
Yeah,
I
so
think he'd probably do
He
it.
may get down small enough to fight Khabib. I don't know what he walks around at, but
I'm pretty sure he won't.
it won't happen. But moving on.
You're going to say
I
something.
did want to ask you about this during one of your travels recently.
Mm-hmm.
I read an article today in USAtoday.com
Mm-hmm.
that
begging for
extrawords.com.
sponsors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I have a newspaper. They still make those.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, next to phone books, I guess.
On planes.
Go
I
to
think that's it.
Blockbuster and buy one.
Mhm.
Remember Blockbuster?
Mhm.
Anywho, there was a $900 cheeseburger available in Tokyo.
Mm-hmm.
$900 US.
Okay, I know where this is
I wouldn't spend 900 baht on one.
I got
But
you.
this is a dusted with gold.
Okay, I know where you're going with this one.
Which kind of reminded me of, maybe you had something similar to that?
Did I? I don't know.
Yeah, well, according to your Instagram and your 40 pictures you sent to me and your middle fingers you sent to me too. We're from Houston, Texas. We appreciate a good steak.
Yeah.
And
True.
if
So
I
there
get
you
my
go.
hands on a $19 steak, ooh, I hit the Powerball. But I couldn't imagine a gold-dusted steak. Do you know what I'm talking about when I say that?
Yeah.
Please elaborate.
Okay, so I was in Dubai, and Salbe was there. Nusrat.
I'm sorry, who?
Salbe. Nusrat. You know what I'm talking about.
Just like to hear you say it.
He happened to be in Dubai for New Year's when I was there. We went for New Year's, and so I went to his restaurant and had the gold tomahawk steak, and a cheeseburger and some other little steaks, and it was fantastic. End of story. And the funny thing is
You're not gonna, who cut the steak, Mike?
oh well, Salbe cut the steak.
Does he do every steak or just I don't know?
I don't know. I think when you buy the gold tomahawk, he comes and cuts it.
He won't even let me follow him on Instagram, and you're there getting seasoned by him and shit.
Yeah,
and
it was cool. But for me, I follow him on Instagram, so I'm like a big fan of his. I guess if you call it fan.
Yeah.
But you know who's not a big fan of his is Anastasia, who's a
Why's
vegetarian
that?
or herbivore, but she's a vegetarian, and yeah, she's not a fan. So I'll show her videos of Salbe cutting up meat, and she's just like, ugh. So you can imagine when I took her there.
So what does she eat there?
A salad. I assume the salad was the most of the bill.
The gold leaf?
That's probably what cost the most
Leaf
was the vegetation, vegetables, whatever.
Leif
But,
Erikson?
yeah, but yeah, no. So I took her there, and because I wanted to go, and that was to meet this guy. I follow him on Instagram. You know, he's cool, and he's built a hell of a life for himself. Just bought a hotel in Turkey. So yeah, I had a chance to go there, and yeah, got the little VIP experience, and it was pretty cool.
How was it?
It was amazing.
I mean, is it really? I mean, I don't know how
It
much
really,
it would
I'll
cost.
be honest with
but
you, the cheeseburger was probably the best burger I've ever had, and that was before. They
Is it
build you up.
Wagyu or is it
I don't know.
Kobe?
They build you up until you get the tomahawk, and then they lay this tomahawk down. It's like solid gold on top, and you're just like
Doesn't
waiting.
that taste? I mean, isn't that
I would think so.
I mean,
you know, other than gold slugger, I've never put gold in my mouth.
gold slug?
And that was us in high school. So
I didn't drink that shit in high school.
yeah, so I was waiting for it. So I guess you're supposed to wait, and he comes around to the table for certain people or certain, whatever you buy. And then I was waiting for him, and then he came across black gloves and everything. I got the video on my Instagram. It's down a ways when I was
Let's
in
put
Dubai.
it on here. Can we put it on here?
Yeah, maybe we'll just if
Maybe one of
if
these.
Craig can, we'll put it right in between us here. It's a what do you call it? The portrait mode or something?
Yeah, portrait.
So it's a video, and he cut the tomahawk, and it was amazing. Like, it literally was. To have him cut your steak is pretty fucking
Yeah.
badass, right? I mean, he only cuts so many steaks, and he has so many restaurants. So to catch him being in Dubai at the same time, go to his restaurant and get a steak cut by him was pretty fantastic. I was disappointed, though, because I obviously was almost full by the time I got the tomahawk. I ate a good portion of it, which was fantastic, and I got the rest to go, and they didn't put the bone in there.
Mm.
And, I'd love to chew on the bone. I mean, it's like a big tomahawk bone,
Your nickname in high school.
Yeah. So, yeah. Because I know you were, like, really curious about that. So I was going to be
the bone is the best part. I mean, again,
I was going to be a total douche at the hotel because the next day, or maybe the next day, I ate on it for like 2 days, I think, just snacking. And the next day I opened it up. Oh, no, it was 2 days later. I opened it up. And it had been 2 days. So, and you can still see the gold and everything. And so I was going to take a picture and send it to you and ask you if you thought the steak would still
in
be
2
good.
days?
Yeah.
I'll wait 6 days till it became jerky.
But I was going to do a douchey post or message and send you and be like, do you think the steak's good after 2 days, considering it's covered in solid gold? I was going to be that guy.
Maybe
and I
that
was like,
helps.
nah, I won't.
Gold
do it.
doesn't rust, so it can't go bad.
It was so eating it at the restaurant. I didn't think anything about
Right.
it. No, I think it's good.
Did you eat it?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I didn't even take it out. I ate it, the gold, and then, but when I had it in the leftovers, and it was cold, I was eating it out of the box because it was so good and tender, right? Then I was like tasting the gold and like wondering, kind of like, because it's old and stuff, like, is this really good to put in your body? I don't know, man.
It can't be bad. They wouldn't put it. I mean, it wouldn't go to a fine dining restaurant if it's bad for you.
Yeah,
You know
true.
what I mean?
And there's like a lot of restaurants doing this gold thing now,
Yeah. Well,
But-
like I said, that burger in Tokyo,
Yeah.
$900.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never been that
That's
hungry.
expensive, man.
I mean, just,
Yeah, Salt Bay is known for his prices, that's for sure. He got like slammed pretty bad in New York for the prices. But it's like,
But hey,
don't go then.
if people are buying it.
When I went to that, because we had the VIP, so we went right on in. We were lucky, but people were so pissed at us. They were mad because we went in and went to the table, and they were waiting. I don't know why, but it's like, I mean, what do you mean to do? Like, give you my spot or like?
No, I'll just go ahead and wait.
Yeah, I mean, come on. They would do the same thing, but it was like there was a lot of people there, whether they were getting the VIP experience or not, or meeting him. There was a ton of people out the line, like out the door. So it's like,
Well, Dubai, right?
He has the demand. Yeah, he has the demand for it. You know, so it's like, whatever he wants to charge, he can get away with it until people
Supply
don't buy
and
it
demand,
anymore.
buddy.
Yeah, your value is what people will pay. That's in business and anything else.
Yeah.
So if people will pay that price, that's your value. And until they don't pay that price, why would you lower it, right? Until 3 people say no, don't lower it, right?
We've had that talk a couple times.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you got experience. I'm glad you didn't bring me back any of that. I really do appreciate
I
that.
didn't want to be old and
I
poison
wouldn't
you.
have gave a fuck. I probably would have eaten it 6 days old.
I have the little pin on my cowboy hat.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. I brought that back for you. So I left it on my cowboy hat.
I appreciate it.
I don't know why I had a cowboy hat in Dubai, but
Don't know why you have a cowboy hat, period.
yeah.
I mean, I get used to, what is it, tame horses or mount them or what is it called?
I'm going to Texas in a month.
Got a surprise for you, too.
We're going to ride horses.
Off the air, I'll tell you about it. Got a little
Alright.
treat for you.
Oh, nice. Thanks.
Something that'll help you on your adventures.
Yeah.
To our homeland.
Nice. I look forward to it. So anyway, the whole thing is, well, whatever. It was fun. That was your whole thing? Just to...
Well, I saw that $900 again, and that just made me think of.
You want to ask me how much the steak was, don't you?
I really, really do. I don't want to be a
No way.
douche and ask you.
It's more than that.
Oh, I would imagine. Even
Yeah.
if little bits, 900. It was probably this big, the burger, but
Yeah.
I would imagine that tomahawk steak. Huh.
I wonder how much gold was on that. Like if you scraped off the gold and melted, I wonder what you could make. Maybe it was real thin. It wasn't that much. It's all just brand and show.
Well,
It's not like, it's,
and it's probably.
I mean, it was spread out, but
it's gold leafing, which is.
Yeah.
I mean, like the. I mean, I don't know what Willy Wonka golden ticket thing. That wasn't real gold. You know what I mean?
It wasn't really Willy Wonka either.
How do you
But
know?
It was a movie.
Yeah, you just don't believe. You got to believe, buddy.
All right.
These schnozberries. No. But let's see what else, man. Have we,
What in the MMA world? So we got Conor retiring.
Yeah, that's dumb.
We covered that. He's not going to retire. I think we both
No.
agree that that's not going to happen. He's going to fight again. He has too much pride. But I think he wants to fight who he wants to fight. He doesn't want to fight Khabib. We know that. It's very obvious. He wants to fight Nate because
But
he did beat Nate. But what will happen in that fight?
He's
Because-
also 1-3 his last 4 fights.
But what will happen if he fights Nate again? Like, what do you think?
Nate'll beat him.
Yeah, for sure.
Connor's done.
Hands
Connor's
down.
the only thing he wants to do. That's what I think we were about
I
to
love
get at
Conor,
earlier.
but there's no way he's beating
Yeah.
Nate.
Is the only reason I think Conor would fight right now is to promote his whiskey and now his new little wine.
And that might be worth it.
And he's still going to get $4 million to fight or whatever he gets.
Probably more than
You
that,
know.
yeah.
I don't care how much money you have. I mean, $4 million's. I mean, that's.
It's a lot of money. He'll get more. Where are you getting $4 million? That's
I don't
dude.
know. What,
Khabib got $10 million in their last fight. Conor got 50.
But this next fight,
I think
it's not going to be anything like that. This next fight, he may not even be the main
the
event.
trilogy of him and Nate, well, if he doesn't fight Nate, yeah,
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
if he's going to fight,
yeah, he's
Justin Scroggins, who cares? No offense. Is there a Justin Scroggins?
I think that was offensive. But
Jason Scroggins. Hey, there's something Scroggins in that UFC thing.
Your use of that word is fucking Scroggins.
I had a. Oh no, I got to tell you this off the air.
God, you can't.
Remind me
keep
to
doing
tell
this
you
to
about.
people.
Well, because it involves my previous endeavors with the ladies. But
Sure, it was ladies.
100%. This, yeah.
I don't know about you.
Eh.
All right, so what we're saying? So okay, so
She told me.
we know he's wanting to fight Nate. That's apparently not going to happen according to Dana. But Dana did say recently that he's going to make him happy when they meet. So he may give him that fight. I don't know. I want to see him fight Khabib. Is there anyone else you want to see him fight than Khabib? And there's talk of other lightweights, but it's not. As
I mean,
intriguing.
of course I'll watch, but I really, even if he did really retire, I'll move on. I'm not like,
But we gotta have that
I'll
next
be
big
genuinely
thing.
sad when DC retires or.
We need that next big thing coming up. There's always the big thing coming
It
up.
could
There's
be.
Ronda, then there was Conor, and then John Jones. There's always that big thing coming up. DC did everything you could possibly do, but like, who's the next? I mean, even with these fights that we saw recently,
maybe
and the ones
they're
before that, there's no real
2-1
big
right now
superstar.
in the UFC. You never know.
You got Colby trying to use his
God, that guy's
gift of gab to try
That'll
to do
never
something, but it's not
happen.
working, right? I mean, I'm not getting it.
I don't really see it. I thought maybe. Well, we still got what's his name, Johnny Walker. Still got a good shot.
Yeah.
I mean, he's obviously on fire right now.
But I mean, he doesn't have that Conor McGregor it
Ortega.
factor.
I mean, if give Ortega a couple more fights to get back into You know, isn't he? Is he dating Holly Berry, by the way? Or
Who?
Halle Berry? Holly Berry, however you
I
say her
don't
name?
know.
You familiar with this young lady?
I know who she is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice lady.
Okay, so then we got Khabib fighting back in, I think they said September.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna make him fight in September when Ramadan's over.
But who?
Yeah,
You know?
that's another thing.
I think the problem sometimes is that all these fights, there's, 6 different fights a month.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not like, when you were there, I mean, we used to, 30 deep in a house to watch it. Now it's like, I slept through some of them. Maybe this one.
Do you make a point to watch the prelims and the early fights, or do you just skip through them and watch highlights?
No,
as a fan, I mean, everyone knows we're not analysts. Our job is not to sit there and dissect the fights and know everything about each person. We have normal jobs.
Unless I personally know one of the fighters, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, I don't want to say I don't care. It sounds bad, but
no, but you care about who you care about, right?
Yeah,
they have to make you care, so it's their fault technically.
Like I always liked Michelle Waterson, but hanging out with her, meeting her, having one beer with her, made me want to watch her, tenfold.
Of course.
I made sure I was up to watch it, but I'm not going to watch 2 4-0 guys from Idaho that I've never heard of. I don't know, man. There's just so many fighters now, and I guess working here now, we've got, ONE FC, Rise, and Bellator. You got other, because when it was just you, it was just, fuck, all I care about is Mike fighting. You know what I mean? And then, oh, never mind, that was mean. I'm not going to say it, but then it changed.
You can't keep leaving things out, dude.
It's a dick comment. I was just.
Oh, yeah, leave that out.
Yeah,
it was dick comments, dude.
But no, it's just like, I mean, because there was 66 fighters on the roster when you fought. Now there's 466.
Like less than 100 or something.
And it
was good for us because we had that countdown
man.
Show for every fight. So we got to become bigger faster.
Yeah.
Now it's like you have to really be something to become big when there's 500, 600
That was a
people
lot
on
of
the
fun,
roster.
man, when you were up and coming.
Yeah. Those were the good days, huh?
Well, no, I mean, I think they're better days now.
So what else do we have? So we got Khabib, Conor. Any other big news? We got
Junior Dos Santos is supposed to fight Ngannou July 6th. I wrote it on the board wrong. That's a fun one. UFC 239.
I can't even look over there because it's so obvious if I look anywhere near any of our
that's
notes,
why I try to glance like
producer, or anything else is. I just have to like look forward and be like, all right,
my
pick up the
40-year-old
slack, Mark.
eyes. It's 11 p.m. right now. I'm like,
it's not 11, but so yeah,
it's exactly 11. Honest to God.
Wow, that is fucking crazy.
Yeah,
isn't that crazy? I think that's fantastic.
Hey, I'm good with numbers.
I'm actually advertising the gym is what I'm doing.
Nice one.
Yeah. So
let's say underneath the time.
Let's break down that fight because what do you think? Overall, I think Dos Santos is a better overall fighter and a better technician.
It's weird,
but Ngannou, Jesus,
I think
power.
the best thing to ever happen to Ngannou was the worst fight in UFC history with the Beast. Why do I always forget his name? Derek Lewis.
That's crazy.
Because I always got
you
Bob
love
Sapp
guy.
over here. I know. Well, no, he flicked me off. Remember on Dana White's Instagram? That hurt my feelings.
That's true.
But
That's why I love him.
thanks. But yeah, I seen Ngannou overpowering him, man. I really do.
I mean, he's getting old, so you can't look back at the old Dos Santos. But
now he went through, God bless him, Tai Tuivasa.
Let
and
me ask
then
you a crazy question here. Now that we're thinking of another heavyweight, Ngannou, that I didn't think about last podcast. What about Ngannou and John Jones? And I say that because obviously John Jones is the better, in my opinion, the better fighter. But one hit from that guy would put Jones into law.
I personally think that Blades Jones would be better.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, you said that
because
last
it's more of a Daniel Cormier kind of wrestling style.
But speaking of that whole like, who can John Jones, like we talked about last podcast, you gotta check it out, episode number 40. It'll come on at the end of this video.
41 or 40? 41.
Watch 42, and then watch 41.
This is 42.
No, I'm saying watch. Nice one.
Thank you.
Wordplay.
Here,
Watch
boy.
40 because then you get to see Waterson before she even got in fight camp for a fight. Anyway, the point is,
we're gonna name drop her.
we
until we get
were
another guest.
talking about John Jones and who he could fight at heavyweight to be a big fight. I think him and Ngannou though could be that
would
big
be,
fight.
like I said, that would
That's
be big,
probably the biggest
of course.
heavyweight fight next to Brock Lesnar.
Him and obviously
Brock
Lesnar. Him and
DC's not
Cormier. Yeah. I mean, it's shit. Like I said, even Blades.
I mean, that's a good fight for sure. I'm not doubting that.
And I could almost see if Derek Lewis fought him, that it would just be stand up the whole time. Because I almost think that Jones would try to prove something, like he wanted to knock him out. I don't know. I just get that vibe, But I
think Jones is getting a lot smarter though. He's realizing with that time off that like with time careers go by fast. I think he's trying to get back.
There's been a lot less spinning back weird shit, and up elbows and like I know he still does a little bit of that, but I think he's a smarter fighter. Obviously, what is he? 27 now?
Who?
Jones?
No.
26?
How old is?
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Wait a minute. There's no way he's not in his 30s, bro. Early 30s.
No way.
What?
If that dude's over 29, I will take a shot of...
You eat those cookies?
No, God, no. I mean, I appreciate the gesture of the gentleman who brought them.
One of the students came in today and gave me a box. We get all kinds of cool gifts from guests at AKA Thailand, and somebody brought me a box of cookies. But I no need showing you guys if he's not going to eat them. But there's no way.
Well, because there is there's a born on date on those, and it says don't eat 6 months after this date. Guess what the date is?
What?
It's not there.
Oh.
So God knows when those were, or God knows when those were made.
Yes. Yeah. Play safe.
So yeah. John Jones is 28 and a half years old.
No way. He's at least 31. 32.
No way. He's not in his 30s.
1987.
Oh, Jesus.
32? Or 31?
31 going on 32.
When's his birthday?
I couldn't have been...
July 19.
Ooh, month after you, old chap.
Yeah.
And you'll be
So
33 before him.
So who do you want to go to trivia night next or this week?
Wow.
Greg, you want to take this guy again who isn't getting any questions right, or you want to take this guy?
All right, how old is Brock Lesnar?
Brock Lesnar is 41. Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
He's not older than Cormier. He's 40.
He's going on 41, I said.
Well, we all are.
What is it? I don't even know, man. I think I want to say I saw something where he's 41. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
What is it?
77.
Holy shit.
Also in July.
You know your big men, buddy.
Yeah. Huh? How good is that?
Wow. All
Anything
right.
else?
How old's Khabib?
I don't know.
I really have no idea. It's hard to judge with that guy.
Well, let's get back to conversation. He'll look
Just
that up.
real quick, Khabib, what's your guess?
On Khabib?
Yeah.
Mm.
Because he carries himself so well, but yet he still looks relatively young.
I'd say 28.
20. Shit. 20. I'll Price is right, you. I'll go 27.
Oh, 2701.
27 in 80 days.
30 years old, 1988.
Okay. That's about right. 28, 30, same thing.
Wow.
Way better than 27.
How old am I?
I'm not going to say on air. I'm going to ruin your
It's not 26.
clout.
I get that a lot, and all the comments are like, what is that guy,
You're
26?
starting to just now get a following. I don't want to ruin that.
I'm not getting a follower.
You're not going to get a follower if they know your age, for sure.
26, not old. You wish you looked this good, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh.
I wish.
What is all this up here?
So where were we at? We were talking about, so John Jones and, so
Curtis Blades, that's the one I want to see.
My opinion, I think him
Besides
and
Lesnar.
Ngannou, I think would be a good fight.
I mean, I'd watch it.
Because that's, okay, so you got to look at it like this. John Jones is one of the best technicians ever. So you can't find someone that's going to, like, be a match for him as a technician. You got to have somebody that has something else that can finish him, and that's not technique, and that's Ngannou. That's power. That's something where who can beat someone that's a technician? Like GSP, for example. Matt Serra hit him with power, and he beat him. Mm-hmm. So you get someone like Ngannou who's knocked out everybody and has like ridiculous power, especially against a 205 fighter. And Jones, now you have an interesting match where you have a much technically better sound fighter fighting a guy like an alligator, like a snake, like one a one take snake, right? That's an old joke.
I've the punching power of a snake.
One strike, one.
They don't have elbows, Michael.
One thing and it's over.
Who do you got? Do you see? I see Henry Cejudo. I'm sure I'm saying this wrong again.
Yeah, that's close.
I say him losing to Morales because of the power thing, like you said. I think overall Cejudo's a better fighter, but that Morales, I feel like I'm saying it wrong.
I'm going to let you keep saying it the wrong way.
Then what is it?
Go ahead, bud. You're doing good.
Oh, we're doing this game. I'll make Mark look like the asshole.
You're doing enough for yourself.
All right, Mike Swick. What do those people call you all the time? I saw Mike Swick the other day. Well,
that was an Ultimate Fighter. That was like fucking 20 years ago.
Yeah, no, I knew you before that. That's what I'm saying. People.
That was the days.
You were. What was your nickname back then?
Kid Lion. Okay, so listen. So I won an Ultimate Fighter, and we filmed the show. Nobody saw us after we filmed the show, and I went back to San Jose, picked up one of my 15 jobs I had so I can get by. And
you're on a mission then, weren't you?
yeah, I worked at Mission. So we were, we were waiting to be in the UFC. We were guaranteed one fight in the UFC. If we won that fight, we'd get a contract and then fight, in the UFC. So we were working on normal jobs. We had no source of income as far as from the UFC after the show. We got like $500 a week, I think.
From the TV show?
Yeah.
Like
And
even after the show until it started? So as soon as the show ended, you got
they're like, take care, guys.
500 a week wasn't too shabby in
Well, it was, yeah.
five.
And it wasn't bad,
I mean,
2000 a month. And we did a full, we had one of the longer seasons. We did 8 weeks. So we got
Well, because you did. Oh, yeah, never mind. That was
and we didn't have to pay for anything during
Yeah.
the show. Obviously, we had food and all that stuff taken care
Still
of.
to pay rent. I mean, did they pay your rent and as well as.
No, at the place. I'm saying our normal
Well, no,
bills
but
we had
your
to pay.
normal house,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
back
of
in.
course.
Okay, I didn't know if they did that because I mean, what if somebody has a $7,000 mortgage a month and they're giving you $500?
They weren't in
It's
that
kinda
house.
shitty.
Nobody in that house had a $7,000
Yeah, well, I
mortgage.
figured, you know what I mean. But
But the point is, yeah. So so then I went back, started working. One of my jobs was a bartender, and then I was a pressure washer. I painted houses sometimes. I was a bartender and a bouncer.
car salesman.
And that was before. That was way before.
This
But
is all
these,
at once.
These are the things I was doing periodically. Yeah, intertwining all these with training at AKA, getting ready for the UFC. And I was after the Ultimate Fighter. I probably did more just bartending because it was easy and I could get
Good
it done
money.
and good money. And I could just go to work or go to training. And then
A lot more fun than painting houses, I would
Yeah,
imagine, too.
it was, man.
I don't do manual
But,
labor.
man, at AKA, dude, San Jose is an expensive place.
Yeah.
Silicon Valley. So we all trained in one of the most expensive gyms. Well, not gyms, but the area was expensive. And it was tough coming up for us, man. We were all from like Idaho, Texas, all different places that were cheap. And we had to move to San Jose to be on the team. And then it was just like ridiculously expensive. I mean, like studios there were like,
Especially
it was
with
crazy.
Bay 101 right there, too.
Yeah, that was great. It was crazy. So I was working as a bartender. And when the show came on, we still had to work and keep we had no money from the show, right? So when the show was airing, we didn't get any money. So for the entire season, we were still working our jobs until we could get that shot in the UFC. And then by that point, each fight that I won, man, I didn't have to go back to work. So that's why I tried to fight so hard.
How easy the kids have it these days.
Yeah.
Jeez.
True. So I was at my job bartending. It was at the Vault in San Jose. From Mission to the Vault. It was a little more higher scale kind of bar. And the show was on maybe 2 or 3 weeks in. And I'm like pouring drinks and stuff. And like people come up to me like, hey, man, are you that guy from my friend's
Sucks
asking?
you're still pouring drinks.
I think you're that guy
You're
from
on
Ultimate
TV and
Fighter.
you're like, oh, you want me
I'm
to
like,
empty your ashtray?
yeah, you want another drink or give me that? You done with that glass? Whatever. It was like weird, but it was cool. I mean, yeah, but it was weird too. And then, yeah, it was worth it. I mean, it was cool. It was cool because like I'd never been
Did you
recognized
turn it on the
before.
TV behind you?
Huh?
Did you turn it on the TV behind you?
No, we didn't play it at the bar.
I'd just be pouring drinks like, I'm sorry, what'd you guys say?
Yeah. That was cool, man. It was that first experience of getting recognized, and the Ultimate Fighter was so big that like it was bigger than UFC. So we were getting recognized more than the UFC like veterans that were like
Well, it
famous.
was on regular TV.
Yeah. So it was like, and they didn't like us, right? So we'd come at the UFC events and we'd get tackled by fans, and some of the old veterans like we had a bad, it was a bad situation between us
they
and
were
those guys.
jealous. I mean,
Yeah, so like we had to prove ourselves. So that's why a lot of us fought so hard in those first couple fights because it's like all the UFC fighters, like those guys just got an easy break, got on the TV show and they just get in the UFC. We worked so hard at it, but all of us had worked the same. We all had fights. We all came up to small shows. We all did all the work. We just got kind of a spoon in from the show, but then we all proved ourselves, the ones that stayed in, the Force and everyone, Kenny, Liebman.
But look what you did for that show compared to the guys that were there before you. I mean, a billion-fold.
Well, the show. I mean, it wasn't me, but the show.
Well, but I'm saying you guys, as the group of guys. You know, I mean, obviously, y'all made it what it is.
Yeah.
Most of y'all.
Yeah.
There's a few.
I didn't do much on the show, but I was happy to be a part of it.
That was cool, like when you did that reunion to see what some of the guys are up to.
Nobody saw that.
That's cool. I mean, it's on Fight Pass.
What was it, like a year ago or less? I went to Vegas and did that reunion show with
Wow.
When was it?
August.
Was it August?
Yeah, it was 7 months ago. Damn, it's already 7 months? Yeah, I guess so, huh?
Damn. So yeah, I went back to Vegas
seems
and we
like
did a reunion show.
Because
It's
you went
probably
there.
still on Fight Pass.
Because you went there instead of you and I going to our high school reunion.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Which.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then it was everybody except Strange Brew. Koscheck didn't want to come because he wanted more money. Strange. Everyone had differences with, like a lot of people had differences with UFC or with Dana or with each other or whatever. Everyone put it aside to come who could come except Koscheck.
He's the only one?
He was the only one that said he had a list of
Well, how come
demands.
the Strange Brew didn't come?
No, Strange Brew wanted to come, and Schonauer. Shit. I'm going to feel really bad if he was there. No, he was there. Who was the other one that didn't come? Strange
Luder?
Brew. Yep. Loden.
Or Loden Kincaid.
Yeah.
There you go.
Loden and Strange Brew. I talked to
I say Loden.
Schoenauer. What was I thinking? Strange Brew and Loden didn't come, but they wanted to. It was something to do with scheduling, or they couldn't get the flight. Something. They wanted to come though. Everybody like put everything.
Well, UFC paid for it, right?
Right,
Before,
but everybody put everything aside. But we didn't get paid for it, you know. But everyone put everything aside to show up for each other because that bond that we had. Most everyone on the show got along. It was just more so out the show, I guess. And Randy Couture, Chuck Liddell, everyone. It was cool, man. It was really cool to see everybody. I know we covered this on the podcast before, but
Still, yeah. I mean,
it was really cool, and I'm like disappointed that it didn't get shown.
well, we have thousands
on-
of new viewers right now.
Yeah,
I mean,
it didn't get shown except on Fight Pass, so you could probably still see it, but it should have been like on one of the TV channels, I think, because it was really cool.
Is there a way you can get a link to it or something? Maybe?
I don't know. I don't even
know how that
You can't
works.
link to a Fight
Link to
Pass.
it, yeah,
you
Fight
have a
Pass,
membership
right?
and all that. I mean, it wasn't that I think
Well,
the show.
give them your password and all that.
It wasn't. I think the show that they made should have been on TV. I think they should have done a better show. They cut out a lot of stuff, so they could have made like a half-hour show, made it better, showed a little bit more
I think
interaction.
it would have been cooler y'all not just sitting at a table.
Yeah, that
You know,
was
maybe-
it, man. That was it. And Chris Liebman was there, clean as a whistle, dude. Real proud
I
of
saw a
him.
documentary on him the other day, man. He's doing well.
He's doing good, man. He was clean and like just high, good spirits. And he was working on a training camp to fight Phil Baroni in a bare fist competition. And I remember thinking, like, do they still have? I didn't hear nothing about this before that, right? I'm thinking they still have those things. Like,
Coming back.
That's crazy. And then we ended up watching today. Actually, we watched it before, but I just showed him today. Chris Lieben versus Phil Baroni, and then we watched Pickett, One Punch. Brad Pickett.
Against who?
I have no idea, but he just did.
He won in
yeah,
One
of
Punch?
course, yeah.
Oh, wow.
But the thing is like,
Maybe that's what you should do, man.
what? Get out of here, bro. So what I was talking to him about
Save
was
money on hand wraps?
it was amazing how professional this was. Like you would think like bare knuckle fighting would be so like
barbed wire and
behind
biker
MMA
chicks
and
holding
behind
around
wrestling and
cards.
stuff like that. But it was like super professional. Like so, I mean, I guess there's a lot of money in that. A lot of UFC fighters that were kind of in my generation are going to that now. It's crazy,
That's your call.
and it is entertaining. No way, dude.
Why not?
I can't, I'm walking out on a UFC contract, dude. I can make a ton of money fighting in the UFC right now. I'm not even doing that.
Yeah, but bare
why would I go
knuckles.
do bare knuckle?
So I could help you train for
I ain't
that.
trying to make any more bruises on my face and broken jaws and noses I never had.
Never
Yeah.
broke your nose.
No,
That's
never,
pretty
dude.
impressive.
I'm gonna walk away ahead. No broken nose, no broken jaw, not even a tooth. Yeah.
Wow.
Anastasia, she broke her nose like twice, jaw, eye socket.
In one fight.
Yeah,
And still won.
yeah.
First round.
It's tough.
Well, she took all that damage, right?
Yeah.
Was that in Texas? That was in Texas, huh?
Mm.
Cedar Park, Texas.
And the girl she beat, Veda, is fighting for the Bellator Championship. If they haven't fought already, but I think coming up,
Yeah, what day is it?
she's fighting for the World Championship. So Anastasia already beat that girl. So everyone's like, is Anastasia going to come back if she wins to fight? I'm like, no. But Anastasia's the one asking, so I'm like, ugh.
You never know.
Nah, no way, dude. We got so much going on right now.
Hey, I'm just saying.
I'm not one to tell people what to do, but
What?
sometimes I like to tell people what to do.
You made me come here an hour early today.
Yeah, well, I'm your boss. Didn't think
Not
that was coming
after
from high school,
hours.
did you, huh?
God. Huh.
So what else, man? What else did we cover? Any more questions for my lengthy
Not to worry.
Can't
I
even say
do
the
want to
word.
do more of these.
lengthy?
We need to do like back
Departure
to
from
what
the
we
show?
said. Couple a week. Are you
Yeah,
down
we
for
are,
that?
for sure.
Because
We want to get some comments and
there's some good shit we could talk about all the time.
yeah.
We had some comments before. Like I said, if you guys want to, I don't know which one, both of you guys want to leave some any kind of questions or whatever, no matter how dumb they are, we'll answer them. Or I'll answer the really dumb ones. He'll answer the ones that have to do with UFC and
I had two
fighting
things I wanted to ask you actually.
and T-Mobile and whatever else, Mike's.
Talking about my career because we were just talking about it. I had three questions kind of mixed into one.
Oh,
Because we never talked about that. We talked about my career a lot on the show, but I want to know because you've been there for my entire career. What fight made you the most mad that I lost? What fight made you the most happy that I won? And who did you want me to fight that I never fought that you were disappointed about? Speaking of me not coming back.
probably the maddest I wouldn't say mad, upset, like felt for you the most. I was never mad that you lost. But
Well, I mean, well, yeah, you can be.
when
mad
I put
that
10
lost.
grand on you versus Vigneault, no, I guess I would have won that one. But no,
I
I
beat
think
all the French guys.
I would say probably the hardest loss for me to take is fuck. I think it's tied for two. Either Yushin Okami, because that was in our hometown, and obviously it's just shit. It's our hometown,
And it was a close loss.
and
too.
you
It
had never
wasn't
lost.
like-
Yeah, and you never lost before.
Yeah, well, I had, but not in the UFC.
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean. I'm talking about UFC.
But I hate the fact that it was so close because, like, in the middle of the fight,
There was
when I came
10
back,
more seconds in round two.
I almost finished him in round 2, and then when I went back in between 2 and 3, it sucks when you have that feeling like, okay, because I lost the first because he took me down, held me down. So it's like, okay, I got my round back. So now it's like, now it's go time. The crowd's going crazy. Houston, Texas, my hometown, our hometown.
Yeah.
And so I was really feeling good about that round. And I ran out there and like threw a punch, and he tripped me, and I fell on my back, and then I wasn't feeling so good because like I was like, shit, I can't win this fight on my back. And I thought about that for like 3 minutes. And then it occurred to me that 3 minutes is the majority of the round. That didn't sit so well, if you know what I mean. So then by the time I reversed him, I ended up on top, I guess, out of some moral victory that I ended up punching him when he got tired of punching me in the face.
When you damn near knocked him down up against the fence at the very end of that second
That
round.
was me gaining that confidence from like building up that round, like slowly winning that round. I was like, oh, I felt invincible, and I tried to knock him out.
How different would it be right now? Because that one you would have fought probably Anderson Silva after that.
Well, then I could have had the broken nose, the broken jaw, the broken eye. We just spoke of.
Or nobody would even know who Anderson Silva was right now.
Oh,
you know?
stop,
You got
dude.
the
You're a
spider
good
Mike
friend, but
Swick.
come on, bro.
And then another tough one is Matt Brown. I think because I've never seen you knock
I
out.
didn't ask for like all my losses to be
Well,
talked
no, I told
about.
you it was two. It was a combination.
Oh, okay.
For two different reasons. I mean,
All right, cool.
we only had.
My 2 worst ones.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
Well,
Let's relive that.
okay, well, it really
Matt Brown was my worst.
destroyed me when you lost a decision. I mean, that is,
Yeah,
I'm
Matt Brown
talking
was
about
my
you know,
worst physical loss.
Yeah.
How dare
That-
he punch me again when I'm knocked out?
Yeah, I didn't like that.
I mean, when I've done it's fine, but dude, don't do that to me.
Should have taken his friend request on MySpace.
All over MySpace.
I will say the
He
proudest
was
one.
mad at me because I didn't respond to a message on MySpace when he was coming up.
Yeah, no.
And then he later knocked me out on Fox. What the fuck? That was a bad deal for me, huh? And and this is what pissed me off the most. I answered every message, dude. I was the geek that answered everyone and always posted comments, posted things, and like I was so like
Apparently
into like
not, buddy.
But I missed that one, and that came back to bite me twice.
MySpace. That shows you how long ago that was.
Okay, so what about
The best victory I think you ever had.
You can say DeMarcus.
The proudest. It probably was. I mean, obviously I was there. I was there for a lot of them. But
yeah,
when your huge layoff,
9
and also like I said, we were sitting in the fighters' family area, and like we're rooting for it was the Vietnamese guy, dude, great guy. Sorry, it was obviously 2012.
You're talking about
His family was behind us, and we're rooting for his family, and he's rooting for you, and and then when you won, they jumped on top of us, and obviously you standing up on the fence after your 911 day or 910 day layoff, whatever, 910 days
from a yet to be healed knee.
and then you jumped off the cage because you're supposed to do that. They even told you shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
They even told you it's against the rules, but you did it. But when you did that, and when you jumped off that cage, and it buckled a little bit.
Yeah,
And
I
I know
had
it didn't
surgery
hurt.
right after.
Yeah, no,
I had surgery between that
thinking.
fight and the very next fight with Matt Brown. So I had to go through surgery and fight camp at the same time.
That I got to admit, that one was pretty cool.
Yeah,
Because that was the first time I really went through. Like I was there the whole week with you.
Yeah, you
Like
got to
I'd been
see
there
the full
before,
fight week.
but I was actually like with you at the gym, with you cutting weight, with you at the when you had to sign all the paperwork and all that stuff. So that was pretty cool. But what about me? Have I ever made you proud?
Yeah, all the time.
Oh,
Now, every day.
Stop.
Dude, and you made me proud here working at AKA Thailand in Thailand with me and doing the podcast. And I will say, going back to that fight, we wouldn't be sitting right here if it wasn't for that fight.
Well, that built the gym.
That DeMarcus fight was what gave me the ability to come to Thailand and start building AKA Thailand.
The $80,000 bonus probably helped a little too.
Yeah, I got a couple bonuses. That was nice. Dana took care of me on that one.
That was a great night. I mean,
Yeah.
great week.
That was the most I made for a fight. And I'll be honest, that was what I needed because 910 days without fighting isn't so good financially, right? And
Thank God
mentally
for poker.
either. Yeah. And so that was the fight I needed to do to fulfill my dream, come here and build this gym. And I swore that if I won the fight and got the money to do it, I'd go all in and put everything, all my efforts and energy into building this gym to be the best it could possibly be.
God, where would Greg
So
be?
now here we are, right? Like,
Like Greg.
And I'm proud of you for coming and doing what you do.
Oh.
So let me ask you,
I hate it
I'm
when
not
we
getting
get...
too sentimental here, but I want to say, I have one more question for you about the UFC. So if you could pick any two people in the world and put them in a UFC fight, who would it be and why? I like asking this question to people.
Well,
anyone. There's no limits, so you can...
probably you and Conor, because
Oh,
I know what that would get paid.
A non-UFC fighter.
No, I'm just saying to get paid.
I agree with you.
Because I know
I'd do that too.
I know you'd throw your boy a something a little bit.
Yeah, I'd give you a little something.
Just any two people in the world to
But
fight?
they can't be fighters. No fight background. So it could be out of hate, could be funny or something. It could be out of...
Wow, I never...
They deserve it. I knew this would stump you, but I
you
figured
know what?
like a
I would
creative
say
answer.
me and the guy who shot me.
You think you could take him to Vu Crew guy?
I'd fucking destroy that piece of shit. He's probably already dead.
Well, now you got to explain why you got shot, because everyone's like, why do you got
Well,
shot?
it was gang initiation for this Vietnamese gang. And
Well, don't piss him off.
well, I'm not going to say the name of the gang.
I just did.
But
so.
the Vu Crew. But it was 2004.
I didn't do anything wrong.
It was 2004. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
true.
been a while. Like I said, the guy's probably dead already. But yeah, there was gang initiation. They just shot the car we were riding in. They shot us up 18 times we could count. Driver got hit in the head twice. The passenger got hit head and back in the shoulder, and I got hit
You
in
were
the arm.
sleeping in the back.
Yeah, thank
Shocking you
God.
were sleeping, but it's good for you in that case.
Yeah. Well, it was I was at a wedding, and they had a keg, and nobody was drinking out of the keg. I'm like, I can't let that guy just sit there by itself, So I did what I could do it. Thank God I was laying down, because there's bullet holes all through the back seat and stuff. So had I been sitting up,
And you
maybe
helped everyone survive.
real
It's a
quick,
heroic story,
without
actually.
Mark would be your title for this one. So
Yeah, so you helped everyone out.
yeah, drove him to the
pulled them into
hospital. I mean, it took me. Have we talked about this on here before? I don't know, but I was a solid hour before I even knew I got shot, and so yeah. But I would really like to meet that piece of shit who shot up our car for no, just so he could join a gang. I mean, what kind of?
So how would you beat him?
I mean,
Would you rather fight him in UFC or Mortal Kombat?
I don't know how to fight Mortal Kombat.
Well, you fight
Well, I don't know how to fight
death.
UFC.
You fight to the death.
I wouldn't want to kill him. I just like to embarrass him.
No, well, good for you.
I'll just beat him till he pisses himself,
No.
and then beat him for peeing himself. Fuck him.
Like you in prison.
Fuck him.
Oh, take it easy.
He shot me, Mike.
Okay, that's
He
true.
shot me.
Okay.
For the audience, where'd you get shot?
You got street cred.
Went in right here and was sticking out of the skin right here, because I was laying like this, put my hands like that when the back window fell on top of me, and that's what woke me up. I don't know if you've ever had a back window fucking fall on top of you. It's a little different than that iPhone alarm. But yeah, and I can actually hear the bullets going by. I was like, what the fuck? They're like, we're getting shot. That's when I went, obviously fetal position. I'm 6'5", the driver's 6'5", and the passenger was 6'5". We're all in the same basketball team, and we're in a 92 Honda Accord. Not the roomiest of vehicles to be hiding from bullets, but yeah, that was a fun evening. So yeah, March 13th, 2004.
Hey, good with dates.
Well, you don't really forget days like that, But
you survive. You're fine. You didn't know at the time, so
I didn't even. Honest to
you
God,
didn't even know you got shot when you went in
I'm
there.
not saying that I'm the biggest badass in the room, but I mean, there's only 3 of us in here. But it really didn't hurt. I mean, when I saw it and then the fear kicked in and all that stuff, it stung like a motherfucker. Don't get me wrong. But when it happened and all that stuff, that's like I see these guys on TV getting shot. They're like, oh, they just die. I mean, it doesn't happen like that. It's garbage, pussies.
Well, I've never been shot, so you got me there.
Yeah. Had a guy try to stab me once.
Nice.
He was 21. I was 12.
Oh, nice.
What a cool guy, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
Well,
Other than that,
you're here for a reason, and it's to be a great employee at AKA Thailand and do an amazing podcast.
Oh, jeez.
So speaking of podcasts, coming to a close here, I want to thank our sponsors, and one being June Yu at Starfish Concept.
God, what a lovely lady.
So a big thank you to June Yu. She just wrote a new book. Sent it to
Long-time
me.
sponsor, too.
Long-time sponsor, and she just wrote a new book and signed it and sent us a copy. Got your copy. Got my copy.
Thank God I
And-
read Mandarin.
Yeah. We can't read it, but
No.
it looks great. Looks fantastic.
Well written, it appears.
Yeah, I think so.
But she's awesome. She's always been so cool, so
Yeah.
I do appreciate what she does.
And then our other sponsor, AKA Thailand. Maybe biased, but I do think it is the greatest gym in the world. Do I say that every time?
I think so too, man. I don't. Whoever you hired to run that place.
And again, not to be spammy on just advertising the gym, but we do have accommodations. A lot of you guys watch podcasts, come to the gym, and take part in the training there. So we do have accommodations coming July, for sure by June. I say July. It's probably going to happen because they get fined if they don't complete the work by July. So usually that speeds them up quite well. Yeah.
Oh, even better.
That's why they're working all night.
Yeah, they're working 24 hours there.
Yeah. So we're probably going to have accommodations by July, and there's going to be 24, nice big pool, a little bit upscale, but it's literally like 10 feet from the door. So maybe 15, 25. Okay.
You're really good at this distance thing.
It'll take
it's
you
a solid
30 seconds.
20 yards away. It's a solid 60 feet.
Okay, well, there you go. But anyway, so now you can stay on site. We have a restaurant already on site, training on site. So if you're planning on coming to AKA Thailand, email info@akathailand.com. You'll talk to Marc Bogutzki if you're lucky, as I always say. He can give you more information about that.
I'll have one of my assistants at least get back to you.
Yeah, definitely.
And they're all named Mark.
Yeah, so pre-book that if you're coming in July, June, July, August, September. Go ahead and pre-book that now. And if you're wondering, because you haven't seen AKA Thailand or you don't know what it is, we'll go and play the commercial right after the fist bump because we jumped ahead last time.
Yeah, we're
out of sync. He almost
started
crying.
Well, that's how we do it, So
we're going to end the show, and then we're going to play the commercial for you guys.
I'm not doing it now.
Episode number 42 in the wrap. You didn't do the thing.
I don't do that.
We do that now with me and Dylan.
Okay, you and Dylan.
Well, I think.
Is he in here doing it?
I'm just trying to bring you into our thing. We do the explosion.
No, we have our own thing.
We've done it this whole time. We've never exploded once.
No, it's not 1999. We're not exploding it, bringing it back, and
well, I got to do the same. So I got to not explode now. So it's
just gonna just.
Well, that's cool. All right, we're good. So me and you'll do that, and then me and Dylan.
The same thing for almost 30 years, and now you want to change it?
All right, guys. So here's the commercial for AKA Thailand. Stay tuned. Leave a comment. Like the video if you like it. Ask us any questions. We'll answer on the air. We're going to start getting back to answering questions.
No matter how dumb the questions are. I like those. Those are always fun.
He loves them. Yeah. And if you got something negative to say, make it funny.
Just not about my mom.
Yeah, don't talk about his mom. And anything you want to see on the show, future guests. We're going to start getting back to Skype again, bringing guests on and talk to us. So, yeah, let us know what you think, and we'll see you next time. Whew.
What's up, everybody? I am here in Thailand. This is the first time I've ever been here. Been dying to come here for years. The great Mike Swick. He's one of the big reasons he's been trying to pull me down here. What he built down here, AKA Thailand, is incredible. There's people here from all over the world. You can train mixed martial arts here, jiu-jitsu. They have weightlifting, they have cardio, and obviously they have Muay Thai, boxing, everything. I'm telling you guys, I know everybody wants to go to Thailand because Thailand's so cool, but you can't come to Thailand without coming to AKA Thailand. Come on.
Real quick, with Mike Swick.